You just had to do that.
Have you ever lost someone close to you? Now imagine that person being taken due to drugs. That's what's happening in and around our community. Family members are having to watch loved ones close to them go down the long road of addiction and withdrawal. To make it even worse, it's young lives that are being taken. First, I would like to tell you a little about heroin, the drug itself. Heroin is one of the most addictive drugs there is. Heroin is like opium and morphine. It's made from a resin of poppy plants. Its milky sap-like opium is first removed from the poppy plant, and the opium is redefined to make morphine. Then it is made into different forms of heroin. Usually addicts get hooked on pills first, and when they're unable to find pills, they resort to heroin because it's a lot easier to find and it's cheaper. Most heroin addicts shoot up. And they're unable to overcome the addiction because of how bad the withdrawals are and what they're faced with. Next, I'd like to tell you some facts associated with heroin. Heroin makes people do things that they wouldn't normally do. Most young adults don't have a job, therefore burglary and theft is up due to people trying to get their fix. They'll do anything to find it. More younger kids are getting into it because they don't realize how pure it is, and they don't realize how pure it is when they're sticking it in their arms. According to the Daily Journal in 2012, the average age of the first time people are using heroin is around 22, which is very young. It is impossible to describe a heroin addict. It doesn't matter race, religion, age, or even income. Heroin can take over anyone's life. You may not even know someone is on heroin. They don't necessarily look sick. It could be a good-looking person, or it could be a good-looking person and they don't look like they've been on drugs. Finally, heroin is not only nationwide, but it is affecting our lives in and around our community. Daily Journal stated in 2012 that 686 people in St. Francis County tried getting some kind of substance abuse treatment for themselves. There are tons of stories of young people becoming hooked on heroin and overdosing around our community. I found on Daily Journal that in July of 2014, 21 people were picked up in an early morning drug roundup in St. Francis County. All but one of these cases were for either distribution or selling heroin. Also on KSDK, it was posted that in July of 2014, a man was charged with his son's death. 41-year-old James Koberman from Bonds Terre was sharing heroin with his 19-year-old son, and his son went into medical distress. James Koberman attempted mouth-to-mouth and refused to call 911. He then left his son in the bedroom and kept an eye on him. He then laid there and died shortly after. He is now going to jail because of that. This last story is the best one I found. It was about a heroin overdose around our community, but this one's a little different. This story was also on the Daily Journal, and it happened in Potosi in 2014. It was about a set of twins named Colin and Kayla. Both of them experimented with drugs back in high school, and they ended up getting addicted to heroin. They both wanted to stop, but found it very difficult to quit. That's when Colin lost his life, and it gave Kayla a second chance in life because she became sober after that happened. As you can see, heroin is a very tough drug to be addicted to. It not only takes a toll on the people using it, but it also the loved ones that have to watch all these young adults struggle with addiction. People don't realize how much drug use there is going on right here in the community surrounding us. It may be tough, but there is help out there for everyone. There are tons of rehab centers for addicts in our community. If anyone is interested, I found a lot of amazing stories on the Daily Journal about some struggles people have went through with heroin.
You did it.